All right, real quick. So combining dimensions, right? So we do it all the time. So you could take this example and you could apply it to any dimension. You can combine any dimension with this method, right? So peep this. Like the first dimension and the second dimension, you can combine those by taking one aspect of the first dimension, right? Then use it and manipulate it in the dimension that you're most comfortable with if the second dimension is that one, right? So pretty much you take something in the first dimension and you take it and you apply it to the second. Same for second and third. Like you take something in the second dimension, take something like a line and you apply it to the third dimension. So it's a component of that that you can build upon, right? Same with third to the fourth and so on and so on. So pretty much you're taking one component, right, of one dimension, and you're building off of that component, right? So once again, like the first and the second dimension, the first dimension is a period. A period is a part of the first dimension. The second dimension is a line, right? So combining those two dimensions, right, will make, will make the third dimension really. So boom, you take the first dimension, right? And you combine and you take it to the same. Okay, first of all, you have to graduate. You got to go from first. You got to be in the second dimension. Then once you're in that dimension, you go back to the previous one. You take a component of it and you build upon it, right? And then before you know it, you're moving forward. And that can be anything. The third, fourth to make the fifth dimension. The third dimension is physical space. Fourth dimension is time, right? So it's physical space and time, and time also means a period of healing, the period of enlightenment, the period of reflection, and dark night of the soul. That's the fourth, all of that, right? You combine the third and the fourth with time, and the third, you'll get to the fifth, right? Because healing and spending time and sorting those things out in the fourth dimension automatically goes to the fifth, just like the first and second automatically goes to the third. It's not true. You go so two at a time. It's not one plus one is two. It's one plus one is one. Or one plus one is two. So one plus one is two. What you do is in the first represents a period, right? You take that aspect of the first while in the second, and you create. You know what I'm saying? You can reside in the second. So you always take the previous dimension to survive in the dimension that you're always in, until you get to, I think it's like the eighth or the ninth dimension where you're creating entire galaxies, but still like my mind processes and thinks, well, you still have to be in a different dimension to go to that one. So I think that still holds true. So yeah, combining realities. So it goes from second to third, right? And the second dimension is flat, right? So width and length, right? And you take that, right? So once you've accomplished the third dimension, right? You can take that lit and you can manipulate that within the next dimension to create new things. The same with third and the fourth. You gotta graduate to the fourth. Then after that, you can go back to the third, back to the second, back to the first, and take aspects and create new things. Same for the third, fourth, and fifth. Same for the fifth, sixth, and seventh, eighth, and ninth.